Okay, this is part 4 of the 1995 Jeep Wrangler YJ project. This one will cover the lift and the tires. It has a 2.5-inch suspension lift with Skyjacker nitro shocks. It went from a 31 to a 32.5-inch tires. Went from 8-inch to 10-inch wide rims. American Eagle wheel for those. And then replaced the body mounts with a 1-inch lift. It was a combination package from Daystar. I've read some articles online with some guys with Jeeps that had replaced their body mounts. Said they were getting rusted and old. So I went ahead and did it both at the same time. Replaced the mounts and the lift together. The reason I split it up between the suspension and the body lift was due to also reading a few articles and hearing how the more of an angle you have on your driveline, the more tension it puts on it with your universal joints, and the more of that shaking whenever you take off. So I want to keep the performance as much as possible. I didn't want to do anything too much to it that could lead to damage. So get started here. So the 2.5-inch suspension lift, like I said, it's a Skyjacker nitro shocks. I was reading those are kind of the best ones, or most popular anyway. I had a friend do these, so he did the suspension lift for me, so not too much detail. I just got a couple pictures on here. Have the before and after picture so you can see it real quick. You see where it was before. Here's how high after. There's Miguel who did it. There is new leaf springs for the new U-bolts. You'll see pictures between the old and new, how much longer they are. So here's the nitro shocks put on with U-bolts. So you can see here's the old on top and the new a little bit longer. I even put a tape measure there so you can kind of see. You can pause this. Give you an idea if this is something you're looking into doing to put the suspension lift. And then here's Miguel just taking off the looks like the leaf springs and do a little work here. So I just took some pictures while he did the work. So this is basically pretty much it for the suspension lift that I'm going to put on here. For the new rims and the larger tires, got it A&M tires in Oakdale, California. Alex is pretty cool. He does a good job. He's one of those type of guys that actually take care of you. He'll, if something's wrong, come in, check it out. He'll look it over for you for free. So that's pretty cool. I like people like that who will actually, after the sale, will still be there for you. So anyway, went from 8-inch wide, 10-inch wide black rims. You can see the old ones here. Those are actually on it when I bought it. I bought it used. And then here's the new tires. It makes a big difference. It really stood out. I tried to take a picture of the same angle in the same spot over on Patterson Pass Road with all the windmills in the background, so you can kind of see, but I don't know if you can kind of tell the old and the new, the difference. So for the new mounts and the body lift, I did this myself, so I put a little bit more detail into it, just to kind of a do-it-yourself in case anybody wants to do theirs. The body mounts themselves, there's 11 total. You have one in the front, you have 3 along the driver's side, 2 in the far back, 2 right over the axle pretty much, and then you have 3 along the passenger side. So these are positions of the body mounts. I put some before and after pictures. The reason why I put in a picture, actually 3, is so you can see, if you look at this picture and this picture, you probably wouldn't be able to see a difference at all. This is before the tires. So, but if you look at after the tires are put on, you see how the bigger tires are a smaller gap, and you see the gap between the side steps and the body has increased. So, like I said, pause this if you like and something you want to do. So the parts, there's 6 side mounts, there's 4 rear mounts and 1 front mount. There's 6 radiator bolts, 2 supports, and then 2 brackets, and then basically what I did was I put all the kits together first, which ones go with which you'll see on here. Lined them up with the ones that go along the side, the ones that go on the back, and then the one in the front. Laid out the 2 the cushion supports here off to the side. And those are my first steps before I start putting it together. Here's part number. I said it's Daystar. It's the new mounts with 1-inch lift. I'm going to show you on the next slide here. You're going to see them put together, so you know which ones go with which. But A are the bolts, and then B, washer, C, below the body. D is the inside of the mounts. E is above the body, and then where's F? F is the old one you have to reuse. I heard some guys with some YouTube presentations say theirs were all rusted out. That gave me time to prepare just in case mine were, and yes, there were a couple that were. I believe it was 2 and 11, or actually 3 and 10, I think were the ones that were rusted pretty good. And what I did, I just swapped them with some of the ones that were in good shape. So obviously the ones that were in good shape are going to last longer. It's a good idea to do that and get your life out of it. There's a picture of the back, the old mount in the back as well. So after you laid out parts and assembled them, again, here's A, B, C, D, E, and F. There's the old mount there. There we go. So you can see here's the older one. Here's one that was rusted. You can see the rust inside. So like I said, I swapped it with one of the ones that were in good shape. Put it all together. Let's see, there we go. So again, here's A, B, C, D in the middle, E, and then F is the old parts you have to reuse. I unscrewed the fan housing, took out the gas cap, loosened the screws. Started on driver's side, then unscrewed all the mounts, jacked it up the driver's side, and pulled out the old mounts, replaced. Basically just worked my way around the car in like a counterclockwise. If you want to pause this, like I said, get an idea if this is the type of kit you want to use or something that you like, then then here's a pretty good idea for you, good start. I did a lot of reading, and unfortunately the instructions were just a lot of words, not too many pictures, and it's a lot easier just to see it in pictures. That's why I took a lot of pictures here too. On the mounts, as you can see, the gap it leaves with the old or the little support. These are really tough to get out. You actually have to go from underneath and try and feel your way, or take out the radiator to get to these screws to take this out. It's pretty tough. So that's going to be a chore. I always have some time aside for that. Alright, then I also saw a guy who on YouTube that said that he had measured before and after, and that his old mounts were so compressed that it actually went up 1.5 inches. He had the same kit. Well, I did a before and after based off of what he said to see if mine was the same, and it was. It actually came out exactly to 1 inch higher. As you can see, it's 21.5 where it touches the bottom. Now it's 22.5 with the new mounts. So I don't know, maybe everybody's different. So the front and center side mounts were rusted. Like I said, I swapped them out with the ones so they had longer life. At the rear, there was a lot of popping, and so I moved very slowly. When I was putting on those rear mounts, you can hear it just popping as it released. It got away from the body. And again, here's those brackets, not the radiator brackets, the fan bracket actually, where you had to undo these, and it wants you to move it down according to the instructions, but really what I did was I just loosened up these three. I left this one alone, and all I did was just let it drop at an angle, and I refastened it that way. It's such a slight angle, doesn't matter, because it's the bottom of your fan that's hitting right here. Whenever if you were to put it back, try to put it back to where it was, it goes back together after you put the lift on, but your fan rubs, and when you turn it by hand, you can see how it rubs pretty hard. And so what I did is just loosened it up a tiny bit, lowered it, re-put it back on, and it was fine. So it's not too hard. Like I said, these are the hard ones here. These were tough. So part 5 will be the front bumper, just some accessories. It's that 10,000 cap, tow hooks, the Terraflex D-ring brackets, the license plate holder. Just got like an O'Reilly's Auto Part. I got those tow hooks at AutoZone, and then some Pilot automotive headlamps also from AutoZone. I went and got those, so that'll be in the next one.